I'm at 7-Eleven. I just went into the store. I had to get that Arizona iced tea, man. They're holding the price down. I've been waiting for that to break, like for at least a decade, but they're so efficient. Their business model so efficient. Just got done shooting the last video on, probably gonna title it like "You Own Nothing and You'll Be Happy," but by design. I mean, I was just complaining about, family members and close friends that have north of $140,000 a year in combined income and have literally nothing to show for it and are financing this, that. I mean, it just gets more ridiculous. And it's like, there are major opportunities to take a portion of your wealth and save it in things that are going to go up in value and wait for this inevitable thing to hit the wall, because debt is inflationary until it isn't. Everything can inflate. The price of a house can be whatever as long as the payment's affordable. The price of a new truck can be whatever as long as the payment's affordable. But the second that the inflation is too high and then the interest rates have to rise with it, that the cost of that asset goes down because the price that people are willing to pay a month on an income basis, here's how much income I have, here's how much I'm willing to pay, is fixed. And so what happens is you go inflate, and then eventually you deflate, and you end up in an epic deflation. The inflation is by design because it pinches the poor and middle class. It makes them all poor. So they're paying more for fuel, they're paying more for food, they're paying more for housing, they're paying more for vehicles, they're paying more for health insurance, they're paying more for everything. Their salaries go up a little bit, their hourly wages go up a little bit, but not really. And then eventually they have less purchasing power. And so what they do is they want to front like they're in the middle class, and so they go ahead and throw it on a credit card, and then they throw this on a car lease, and then they throw this, they rent that, they do that. They still go on a vacation though because they want the kids to think that they're still middle class. They still buy stuff for Christmas though because they want the kids to think they're still middle class. There's nothing wrong with it. There's the haves and the have-nots. And if you continue to front like you're something that you're not and have been there, you continue to front, you're gonna hit a wall. It's like, how do you go bankrupt? Hemingway said this. Little bit at a time. No, Hemingway said slowly at first and then all at once. And he's right. He's totally right. Take it from a guy that like lived how he wanted to live and then offed himself on a boat down in Key West. He was a sad man, but nonetheless, like, what can you do about it? What can you do about it? Let's talk positive. Number one, you do you. You do you. Screw the bankers. Screw the bankers. You don't need the bankers. What about my credit score? Number one, point A. Take your social beta conditioning and throw it out the window. It will not serve you. It will not serve you in the area of finance. It will not serve you in the area of economics and wealth building. It will not serve you as a leader of men. It will not serve you with women. Nobody wants to hang out with beta bitches. Straight up. You might think they do, but they don't. Nobody, here's how you know beta bitches, like people that I was complaining about in the previous video. If you haven't checked it out, check out link below. It starts with, this one bitch hit my car and now I'm in a problem. Oh, I'm a victim. Oh, you're a victim. Shut up. Victims are weak, fake, and gay. Nobody cares if you're a victim. That's just the truth. Now, the entire country is a victim. The entire country is weak, fake, and gay. Obvious by design. But for you guys, what can you do? You can start. You can go through your change and you can trade in change at the banks and you can find the real stuff in here. There's actually still real copper pennies. Anything 1981 and previous is actual real penny. It's not worth a penny. It's worth 2.5 pennies. So you can go trade a $100 bill in and literally get, all those pennies, sort through them, return the pennies back, and then do it again. And you're like, well, it doesn't really seem like a super efficient way of your time. It's a guaranteed 2x return and a guaranteed something they cannot print and will probably rise at least 10 times in value between now and the end of the decade. If you go back to the 1930s and you look at what a gallon of milk cost, you'll find 12 pennies to 16 pennies. We're obviously copper in the 30s, so that will tell you how much copper will buy you a gallon of milk. It's cheap, man. It's the easiest thing you can do. And you can go, this is going to be a 10-year period of time. I go through a gallon of milk a week or whatever it is. How many gallons of milk will I need? And you can do something about it, because the thing is it's about starting and going like, hey, man, if everything hits the fan, I know that I got 2 years of buying a gallon of milk a week, no problem. because you'll be proven right. The metal cannot be printed. So you can just go, you can trade that stuff in, you can get whatever currency they're using, whatever digital, what you can get, you'll be able to trade it in, you'll be able to exchange it, you'll be able to go to a farm store or a local place or an organic-y place and be able to trade it in, and the people will be like, oh wow, that's whatever value in copper, which is equals a gallon of milk. It's funny how these ratios always stay in line. If you look at silver and the price of fuel, they always stay in line. So you can go ahead and start to save for this type of thing. And then you can speculate. Once you get yourself from a situation where you're paying the bankers, stop paying the bankers. You don't need to pay the bankers. Well, what about my credit score, Trav? Your debt score, how good of a slave you are? Like, you want an 800 score on your slavery? Like, I'm not anti-debt. I'm not anti, like, I get the point. I see how it can be used as leverage, but if you have to pay it, it's debt. If somebody else pays it, it's leverage. You want to buy a rental property on credit, so you can have the property appreciates in value, you can kick the equity out of it, the equity then goes back into your pocket, now you own the property, you get a positive cash flow, some other peasant pays the rent. I'm down, man. I'm totally down. They print money, the price of the thing keeps going and going and going, the rent keeps going and going and going, the mortgage is fixed, your cash that you used to get into the deal is already returned back to your bank account. I'm about it, man. I'm not anti that at all. I'm on point. But you go out and you finance a brand new F-250 because you want to look like your homies, like, no. Oh, I gotta have a diesel, man. I got buddies. Oh, gotta have a diesel, man. Why? They suck. They're all fake and gay now. They all have DEF fluid. They're not like old school 7.3s or 5.9s or anything cool. Like, just go find something old. It's good so many miles. Put a new engine in it. Now you got a brand new truck that's gonna go 400,000 miles. Shut up. Put paint, new interior. You're ready to go. You got something you got a classic now, man. But people continue to stay on this gerbil treadmill instead of doing them first. So one, do you first. Stop paying on stupid stuff that you don't have to pay for. Pay your obvious. Pay your rents, pay your housing, pay your mortgage, pay your obvious, so you got a place to chill at. But don't pay your other ones. Let them go. Let them go. Start paying yourself first. Get control of your income so that you have total control of that. You got to balance. Get control of your income. Like, get a side hustle going on. There's plenty of things that you can do where you can roll around on, like, look up Craigslist free section, find things that have value, take the stuff that has value and sell it on Facebook Marketplace. Just drive around and do that. You can easily do $1,000 a month side hustle, easily. You can trade in copper. You can go get 10 bucks at the bank in pennies and sort through the 1981s and older, and you've got 2.5 cents of value right there. You can literally start to save that and hold that. You can go buy silver. It's $30 an ounce to put that stuff in your hand. Go get it. And you can start with a silver dime. They're selling for about $2 right now. For $2, you can have a silver dime, a piece of wealth that you own, that they can't just print away from you. You own it. There's no record of you owning it. You have real wealth that's outside of the system. And it shows you to yourself that you have power and control over the situation. You're not a victim. You're in control. And so I recommend to everybody, you literally start by getting your first legit silver dime. That's a 1964 silver dime or older. 1964 or older. Here's how you remember, like, what's real and what's not real. As far as the dimes and the quarters and the silver, there's this guy named John F. Kennedy. There's this guy named John F. Kennedy. Call him JFK. And John F. Kennedy had this thing on silver. He was there was a lot of silver talk going on there in the early 60s. Nonetheless, here's how you remember what's real and what's not real. They shot the president, and silver came out of circulation that same year. That's how you know. So if it was during Kennedy, it was 63s, you know for sure. Most of the 64s are real. 65, nope. No Kennedy, no silver. That's the easiest way to remember it. But you can go out and get a dime for $2. Everybody's got $2. Everybody. And you can start. And just by starting, it'll create a habit of, all right, let's do it again. Oh, I got 1 dime, let's get 2 dimes. Oh man, I want to get a full $1 now. Well, now you get $20 of it. You almost got a quarter ounce of silver, which is a big deal. If you look at the value, and I go to silver because it's the easiest asset to own that's fully private, has the best laws because the elites use it, and it's non-taxable. And if everything hits the fan, it's an insurance policy. And if everything goes crazy, we have this amazing, green utopia where all of us are driving around in solar-powered cars. There's not enough of it, so the silver holders are going to clean up, and you're going to be rich, man. I mean, it's just going to be like and it's under-owned. I mean, less than 5% of the population has any allocation to any sort of physical metals whatsoever. So it's under-owned. So if you do end up in a financial situation where it's chaos, they lock the banks, they take away the currency, the physical currency, the cash, all of a sudden it gets weird, they default on the loans, there's a hyperinflation, any of these things happen, well, you win. You win. I mean, you don't want to live through that. It's going to be a pretty crazy time. You better have some firearms, but you better have some food, you better have the basics, but you can do something about it, and you can get out of the system, and then you can start, and then you can go, and you can do it again, and then you can go, wait a second, and then you can work off your debts. Start by taking care of you first, paying you first, taking care of your income via side hustles, extra efforts. There's tons of stuff you can do online. Tons of stuff you can do online. In your spare time. I don't have any spare time. Everyone has spare time. Everyone has spare time. All of us have the same exact amount of hours. Some of us are more efficient with those hours. Others of us waste them. I'm guilty of both. But you can start. You can literally start. And then you can take control of the situation, and you can pay people as you feel you are ready to pay them. Oh, you gotta pay this credit card. No. Well, they call me when I'm late, and it makes me nervous and stuff. Get a new phone number. But my credit score. Stop being a debt slave. You don't need a credit score. If you just pay cash for everything, you don't need a credit score. Every now and then you have a background check or something like that. You don't need a credit score. You can get by without it. Oh my gosh. I mean, or you can be a debt slave. You can be like my buddies and friends and family, making over $140,000 a year and have no savings, no silver, no owned cars, no titles to their homes, no titles to their campers. They own nothing. They're just waiting for the government to tell them, game's up, boys. We're gonna mandate what's going in your body, your kids' bodies. We're gonna mandate what currencies you can use. We're gonna mandate what taxes you can use. And if you don't comply, we're gonna send men with guns to your house to make sure you do. You have no freedom. You have chosen to be a slave. You were born into a free country-ish, and you chose willingly to be a Netflix, a chill, a slave. It's sad, man. It's freaking sad. But what are you gonna do? Stack real money so you can own your own peasantry later in the future, because peasantries are coming back. I'm telling you, like this isn't going to be like a return to 1950s America anytime soon. It's going to be a return to the peasantries. It's the haves and the have-nots. Peace.